Budgeting spreadsheets are powerful, but they can also be a pain to update. Tiller Money promises to fix that by automatically updating your spreadsheets with all of your financial data. I tested it to see if it really makes budgeting easier or if it just adds another layer of complexity. Now, before I even linked my bank account to Tiller, I did what I always do before trusting any finance software. I went straight to the user reviews. And I didn't just look at the 5-star ratings either. I hunted for the critical 1-star warnings. Because, let's be honest, that's where you find the real story, right? And in one Tiller Money review that really stood out was this user in Canada. He said that he'd been with Tiller for a year and a half, but was finally pulling the plug. His issue? Unreliable data connections with Canadian banks. He mentioned that Mint had failed him before too, and now Tiller was having the same problems. So yeah, that's the kind of thing that makes you pause, especially if you're banking outside of the US. But here's what I noticed. Digging deeper, this did seem like a pretty rare case, not the norm. Most issues were tied to specific, smaller institutions or regional banks. And Tiller is transparent about this. They have a whole dashboard showing current connection statuses and outages, and they also use Yodlee, which is a major data aggregator that most big fintech apps rely on. So no service is perfect, right? But this felt more like an industry-wide challenge than a Tiller-specific flaw. Now, on the flip side, the overwhelming majority of users were not just satisfied, they were actually kind of obsessed, so there's a lot of positive about this too. One user I came across said that he'd tried every other platform, Monarch, Quicken, some others, but said that he kept running into issues. He called he called Tiller infinitely customizable because it's built on spreadsheets, but said that the setup was a little confusing at first. But then once he got used to it, he could pretty much build everything, like the budget, investment forecasts, net worth charts, you name it. Pretty much it gives you that amount of customizability. But another user mentioned that while Tiller took a bit longer to set up than other apps, the ability to directly edit his raw data and build custom dashboards was a game changer for him. He's got 40 accounts and 9 years of transactions in there. That's a lot of data, and he said it just works. The consistency here really stood out to me. Like, people don't stick with the tool and talk positive about it for like years and use it for years and just do all their finances with it unless it is delivering real value to people, right? All right, so after looking at all of those Tiller Money reviews, I had to test it for myself. And let me tell you, Tiller Finance isn't just another budgeting app. It's a completely different approach to managing your money. Let's start with the absolute bedrock, the automated Google Sheet. You connect your accounts, so checking, savings, credit cards, loans, even investments, and every morning, Tiller automatically feeds your new transactions and balances into a spreadsheet. So no more manual entry. And that alone saved me hours. But it's not just a dumb data dump either. This is where Tiller Money really starts to outpace other competitors like Monarch or Simplify. So those finance apps give you a pre-built dashboard, you get what they give you, but the Tiller app gives you a completely customizable foundation. So you want to track your net worth, you can build a graph for that. You want to forecast your retirement, you can build a sheet for that. It's all built on your terms inside of a tool that you already know, spreadsheets, right? But what if you're not a spreadsheet wizard? Well, don't worry, there's something for that too. So Tiller comes with pre-built templates for budgets, net worth tracking, profit and loss statements, even investment portfolios. I used the simple P&L template to get a clear view of my monthly cash flow in seconds. And if you want to go deeper, there's a whole community sharing custom templates. Now, one of the most important features that I stumbled on was how it actually organizes categories. So other apps give you a very fixed, rigid set of categories. You're stuck with what they give you. But Tiller here is the opposite. It starts with a sensible default setup, but then it hands you the keys. You have complete control. You can rename, add, delete, and group categories exactly how you think about your money. So for me, that meant like splitting shopping into necessities and fun stuff. And that level of detail is a game changer for understanding your actual spending habits, not the habits that some app developer thinks that you should have. And the engine that makes all of this possible is the Tiller Money Feeds add-on. It just sits right there in your Google Sheets menu, one click, and it populates your sheet with the latest data from all of your connected accounts. It's the difference between having to manually update your books and having a personal assistant do it for you before you've even had your coffee. But the feature I found incredibly smart was how it handles transfers. If you move money from your checking to your savings, other competitor finance apps might count that as an expense and then income, and that messes up your reports. but Tiller automatically categorizes it as a transfer, so your spending picture stays perfectly clear. Now, a huge worry for anyone using a tool like this is reliability, right? What if my bank's connection breaks? Tiller Finance is one of the only services I've seen that is completely transparent about this. Like, they have a public status dashboard on their website where you can see in real time if there are any known issues with any bank. You don't have to wonder if it's just you this time. And this level of transparency and honesty is something that I really respect and haven't consistently seen with competitors. But the feature that might have blown me away the most was the AI-powered AutoCat. When you first connect your accounts, you're faced with months or even years of uncategorized transactions, and the thought of manually sorting through all of that is a bit exhausting. But AutoCat uses artificial intelligence to just do it for you. And I'm not talking about like these simple categorization rules. I mean, it legitimately learned and accurately categorized my past spending from coffee shops to software subscriptions in a matter of seconds, and it learns over time too, so it gets some things wrong, but it'll get smarter the more that you confirm or correct its choices. So this alone saved me hours of tedious work. Now, is there a mobile app? Well, not a dedicated one. You can use the Google Sheets or Excel app on your phone. You can view your sheets and categorize transactions on the go, but you can't refresh the data feed from your phone, so you have to do that from a desktop. Some might see that as a limitation, but honestly, it did force me to like do my real financial review at my desk where I could focus instead of mindlessly scrolling on my phone. So, I mean, for serious money management, I actually prefer it sometimes. And after using all of these features, it became crystal clear to me why users are really so loyal. Tiller Money isn't just this app that tells you what to do. It's a tool set. It's a framework. It gives you the automation to save time and the flexibility to build a system that works for your unique financial life and not someone else's. But is Tiller perfect? No, of course not. Nothing is. The biggest hurdle for most people, I think, will be the initial setup. Like, if you're not really conversant with spreadsheets, there's a learning curve there. It's not just clicking around a simple app, right? You're building a system. It takes time. But honestly, I came to see that as a strength too, because you're not just using a tool, you're learning how your money works. And once it's set up, it's effortless. The control you gain is worth those first few hours. Now, when it comes to pricing, Tiller Money is not free. But for the automation, control, and time that it saves, I found it to be very reasonably priced. If you're a very casual user who barely checks their finances, it might feel like a lot. But if you're serious about getting a true handle on your money, your spending, your investments, your net worth, the value is definitely there. Also, they run promotions and discounts throughout the year, so for the most current pricing and any active deals, make sure to check the link in the description of this Tiller Money review video. I'll keep it updated with their available promo deals so that you're sure to save money. So, after months of testing, is Tiller Money worth it? Well, if you want a simple, pretty app that holds your hand, maybe not. But if you want a system that adapts to you, not the other way around, then absolutely. It's the most flexible, powerful money management tool that I've ever used. Check the link in the description to get started and take total control of your finances.